promise of Southwest Airlines started on a napkin with a dream to make air travel affordable and enjoyable. And nearly 50 years later, we're building on a legacy of hospitality and safety with the Southwest promise to you. As we travel together through a new chapter, we're making a promise to your comfort and our standard of cleaning on every journey with us. The Southwest promise is our commitment you experience the benefit of around-the-clock cleaning and protocols and policies that help everyone maintain distance from the check-in experience to deplaning with that same level of Southwest hospitality. A big part of our promise is sharing with you before you travel that there's some things you need to know and things you need to do.
When you're ready to travel again, the first changes you'll likely notice are in our airport spaces before you get on board. We designed extra safeguards with your protection in mind. Even behind a mask, you'll still feel our warmth and friendliness. After all, we're a social airline, but we're all moving through a time when we know distance enhances safety and provides a sense of comfort for everyone. So in addition to cleaning our airport spaces throughout the day, we're modifying our boarding process for our people to welcome groups of 10 customers at a time, allowing more space for each person from the time you queue up until you're comfortably seated.
Our unique open seating allows people to spread out and sit where they want. As flights begin to carry more people, we won't be blocking middle seats, but we are limiting the number of customers on any flight. So if a family wants to sit together, they can, but there's still going to be enough open seats so that the middle seat can remain empty for distancing.
Our President Emeritus Colleen Barrett famously said, "You can hear a smile." And although our flight attendants will be wearing masks, they will still be sharing their warmth and their smile with a focus on the safety of everyone on board. For the time being, we're not providing beverage or snack service to limit close interactions, so you'll want to be prepared to eat in advance or simply bring those items with you for your next flight. Our crew will have extra sanitizing wipes on board for those of you who don't have your own. We've already removed most paper products from seat back pockets. When you've arrived, our flight attendants will also provide guidance to help maintain spacing during deplaning as we say farewell and invite you back for another flight soon.
We're placing an emphasis on standardizing cleanliness you should expect throughout every journey as part of our Southwest promise. Every day, we spend between 6 to 7 hours on each aircraft sanitizing every surface from the flight deck to the back galley, with added attention to tray tables, seat belts, armrests, buttons, lights, and overhead vents. We've also expanded electrostatic spraying across our entire fleet. It'll be used to sanitize every surface within the aircraft interior. And for your peace of mind, we're going to be cleaning between each flight every time. We're doing our part, but everyone plays a role in the Southwest promise. Before you arrive to the airport, you should download your mobile boarding pass and plan to arrive earlier. And we ask that you maintain spacing throughout the entire travel journey. We're on board with the medical and health experts shaping our work to protect all of us. We'll continue to look for ways to provide touch-free experiences, and more news on those enhancements will be shared in the next few weeks. The promise of travel brings the richest experiences that life can offer. Moments of meaning, deals that can define a company, vacations that can change lives. And when you're ready to fly, we're ready for you. We promise.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Addison coming to you live from Club Cocktail Chameleon, where I'll be hosting my new show, Shaking Things Up with Mark Addison, every Friday at 3:30 live on Facebook with replays on IGTV and YouTube. Plus, we'll be doing a little behind the scenes live Instagram stories, so stay tuned. So now it is time to shake things up. Today I wanted to talk to you about a new cocktail craze. It's called the Quarantini. Say, what? What'd you call me? Ignore the voices in my head. Yes, the Quarantini. It's here. And I'm sure you guys have all seen the meme going around. It says, the cocktail of the day, the Quarantini. It's just the same martini, but you drink it alone in your house. No. I say the Quarantini should be as unique as your personal quarantine experience. And it should be as creative as some of the ways we've had to entertain ourselves and our families over the weeks and weeks. We've all had to be resourceful in our day-to-day lives, and we've had to use things that we've had at home, we didn't even know we had at home, or that we can immediately get from the store. And the cocktail is no exception. So I wanted to challenge you, a little Quarantini challenge, to create a cocktail at home only using the ingredients you have available to you, and then post it online with a picture or a video and share it with the world. And I want to take the Quarantini challenge step just a little further, and I want to host a Quarantini challenge cocktail contest for the most unique and creative Quarantini out there. And I'll make a deal with you. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. So at the end of the show, I'm going to show you my Quarantini made with ingredients that you might just have in your refrigerator already. Let's meet the judges. First, we have Tequila Master, Chef Will Dotson. Next, we have Gin Guru Anne-Marie Delaney. And last but not least, we have Master Mixologist, that's me, Mark Addison. All of whom just happen to be quarantined in the lovely Green Mountains of Vermont. Yes, we're all local, but this is a worldwide competition. So, I'm looking to find the best, most creative Quarantini in the world. Oh, give me a break. This is the Me, Myself, and I show, so we don't have a huge budget for things. So here's what we're looking for. We want you to create an innovative cocktail recipe of 3 or more ingredients with what you have at home. Give it a creative name and really turn up the presentation. Now to enter, all you have to do is post your Quarantini cocktail on Instagram or Facebook. Make sure you use the hashtag Quarantini Challenge and tag at Cocktail Chameleon, at Barnard Inn Max's Tavern, and at Silo_Distillery. And last, we want you to tag a friend who you want to share your cocktail with when you get out of quarantine. We've got 3 great prizes, and the grand prize will have their cocktail featured on the bar at Barnard Inn at Max's Tavern and Silo Distillery, as well as on my new web series, Shaking Things Up with Mark Addison. You'll also receive a signed personalized copy of Cocktail Chameleon, plus a $100 e-gift card from Barnard Inn. Our 2 runner-up prizes will have their Quarantini cocktail featured on our social media, as well as receive a personalized copy of Cocktail Chameleon. I promised you I'd show you mine. So my cocktail is inspired by orange marmalade. Can you guess what I called it? Sing it, girl. Ooh. Mocha chocolata, yeah. Sweet old Lady Marmalade. That's it! Lady Marmalade, which is a song made infamous by Miss Patti LaBelle and inspired by orange marmalade. It's also in the film Moulin Rouge, which was another inspiration in the style that I'm presenting my cocktail. It's also in the new Broadway musical, Moulin Rouge the Musical. And you can find them at Moulin Rouge B-Way on Instagram. So check them out. All right, so let's get into the Lady Marmalade. First, we're going to, here's our glass. We're using a lovely coupe style glass. So this will be a straight up cocktail, but first we need to work on our garnish. So I'm gonna take an entire orange, and I'm using a flat-edged, I don't know if you can see this. Let's zoom in here. So we have a flat-edged vegetable peeler, and you want to just take the blade and put it against the rind of the fruit, and you're going to just press down just so you're pulling up the yellow or the orange and not the white pith. The white pith is bitter and you want just the orange flavor. So you're going to go all the way around this orange and get every single piece of this delicious orange rind. Oh, I can smell this orange oil just pouring off this orange. So you're literally going to take the entire orange, and this is not a waste because you can use the rest of the orange in a cocktail later. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take the orange peel. This is our goal. So this is the orange rose that I created earlier. So we're going to take the orange peel and we're going to just turn it onto itself. So what you want to do is you want to pinch it into a cone shape, like so, and just keep turning it. That's going to be the center of our rose. And once you get it around, and just, you can do this pretty quickly, and just around and around and around, a couple of turns, what you want to do is you just want to start twisting the peel. So that's going to create the more dynamic rose shapes, the rose petal shapes. So you just want to keep twisting it around, and then every once in a while, just turn over the peel in another direction. Keep going and going and going and twist, but every once in a while where you think it needs a little bit more, oomph, and you're gonna end up back together. And I'm gonna give the center a little bit more of a twist. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take just a regular, ordinary toothpick, and I'm going in at the end of my orange peel, straight through the center. Make sure you get all of the sections in, and voila. Turn it over, and you have a gorgeous, beautiful orange. Rose d'orange. Yeah, there's French for you. So there's our orange rose. We're gonna put that off to the side, and now we're gonna get into mixing our cocktail. And I like to use a cocktail mixing set. This is called the Boston shaker, and this is our new shaker that comes with the Cocktail Chameleon illustration patterns, and it's available on our website. And you have your choice of metal shaker. So there's a 2-part shaker. I like this because you can do so many things with it. You can stir a drink in it, you can shake a drink naturally, and then you can also roll. So I'm gonna get into this on our first real episode of Shaking Things Up with Mark Addison, all the essential barware that you're gonna need. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off using the mixing glass. So I'm gonna fill my mixing glass with ice. Here we are. And so we're starting here with a mixing glass full of ice, and then I'm going to add 1.5 ounces of Silo vodka. So we're working with Silo because Silo is here in Vermont. And what I love also about Silo is that they use all Vermont ingredients in their distilling process. So this is 100% Vermont-made vodka. So next we're adding our special ingredient, which is our orange marmalade. Here it is from Blake Hill, which is also from Windsor, Vermont. And I'm going to take a heaping bar spoon. So if you guys don't have a bar spoon at home, it's a really great tool, not only for measuring things out, because a bar spoon is about a teaspoon, so you can use a teaspoon as well. It's really great to stir cocktails with, as well as pick out things out of jars, etc., etc. So we love those bar tools. So then we're going to add 2 dashes of bitters. I'm using a grapefruit bitters. You can also use an orange bitters or a citrus bitters. I had 3 dashes. I really love bitters because it adds a great depth of flavor, and it's a very strong essence. So then to that we're going to add 1 ounce of pomegranate juice. So this is our Moulin Rouge inspiration. We have a red drink, and then I'm adding a 1/2 ounce of an orange liqueur. And I like to use Grand Marnier in this particular cocktail because it's made with cognac, so it adds another deeper flavor profile to the cocktail. And so I'm going to give that a little bit of a stir just to get my marmalade off of my spoon. And then we're going to get to shaking. So what you want to do is you want to take the contents of your mixing glass and you're going to pour them into your mixer your shaker part. And then you're going to tap on it just to make sure that it's nice and tight. And then you're just going to give it a good shake. And general rule of when you're shaking, how long do you shake a cocktail for, is until basically your hand freezes. No, not really. Until it's really, really cold to the touch, then you know you've got a really good chill. So in our next show, we're going to be going over to shake and to stir. Why you shake and why you do, or don't, therefore. All right, so that's nice and cold, and you just give it a little nudge, and it comes out. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour it back into our mixing glass, because we love using the clear mixing glass. It's part of the enjoyment of making the cocktail as well as enjoying the cocktail. So let's go to presentation. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our orange rose, and we're going to put it into the bottom of our glass here, and we're going to pour right on top of it. So now I'm going to double strain this. So I'm using a Hawthorne strainer. This is what's called a Hawthorne strainer, and it has these wire straining on the back of it. And then I'm also going to use a fine mesh strainer here. So this is going to get out those chunky bits from the orange marmalade. If you don't use it, you can keep the bits in if you'd like. I just like a nice clear cocktail presentation. So I'm not going to fill it all the way up. It's almost to the top. What I'm going to do is splash a little bit of Brut champagne on the top, because this is a fancy cocktail. Just a little sparkle of champagne on the top. And there we have, this presentation is important. I said that once before. We have a little, this is more Indian inspired. We have the little elephant, which reminds me of Moulin Rouge. So we're gonna make sure we present very well. And here is the Moulin Rouge, inspired Lady Marmalade. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you get out there and mix up your own Quarantini cocktails and enter our contest. Again, all you have to do is post it online, tag Cocktail Chameleon, Barnardin, and Silo, and also use the hashtag Quarantini Challenge. So while you're enjoying your Quarantini cocktails at home, I want to make sure that everyone raises their glass and makes a toast to all of the people working on the front lines during this crisis, as well as all the essential employees, and say, cheers, you are essential. Thank you. Oh, that's delicious. So thanks so much for joining me. Please join us back here on Fridays at 3:30, live on Facebook, and again for replays on YouTube and IGTV. Thank you so much for joining me. Cheers.
New York is the canary in the coal mine. What happens to New York is going to wind up happening in your city and in your community. We are going to fight every way we can to save every life that we can. We are all first responders. Your actions can either save or endanger a life. Job one has to be save lives. That has to be the priority.